You know that feeling, right? You really, really want to speak English easily, like comfortably, fluently. But then the moment you actually try, your mind just sort of, it freezes up.
Uh-huh.
You feel nervous, maybe a bit shy, and that little voice pops up. My English isn't good enough. I'll never actually be fluent.
Oh, absolutely. It's like hitting a wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
So many learners experience that fear, stopping mid-sentence, forgetting words, feeling shy.
Yeah.
It's so common. And honestly, it often makes people just, well, give up.
It really does. And so today we're doing a deep dive specifically into tackling that exact challenge, right head on.
Mm.
We're looking at a source text, some material that basically says that feeling, that thought that I can't do it, it's not the end of the story, that fluency, it is possible for you.
Yeah, that's our mission for this deep dive, really, to unpack the key ideas for this material. It's a text that's, focused completely on helping people like you get past that fear and speak English comfortably.
Right.
It shares really practical, actionable steps based on what it tells us.
Exactly. So let's jump right into what this source sees as the main hurdle. Wanting fluency but being kind of paralyzed by fear, stopping all the time, forgetting words,
Feeling shy?
feeling scared, yeah. And this whole cycle convinces people their English is just bad and they stop trying.
I mean, what's great is how the text just immediately tackles that negative thought. It
It's
says,
right.
look, that idea, it's just not true. You absolutely can speak English fluently.
And it also quickly debunks another common myth, doesn't it? This whole idea that being fluent means you need like super hard words, perfect grammar, or these really long, complicated sentences.
Totally. It clarifies right away that's not what real fluency is about. Not at all. Instead, this text offers, well, a much more down-to-earth definition.
Which is,
Fluency just means speaking without stopping too much. Simple as that, really.
yeah.
It means being able to share your thoughts, say what you actually want to say, so the other person gets it.
Okay, so it's really about getting your message across, not about being flawless. And the material says it's actually okay to make small mistakes.
Absolutely. Okay, I mean, think about it. If the person you're talking to understands you, then your English is working. It's doing its job.
Right.
This source really hammers home that being fluent means feeling comfortable and easy when you speak. It's not about being perfect. And that difference, that's key to changing how you approach learning.
Okay, so if that's what fluency really is, how do we actually get there? This text lays out a pretty clear path. The first step, it insists, is the absolute foundation. And it's something, maybe ironically, a lot of people overlook when they're desperate to speak. It's listening.
Yeah, and the material uses a really neat comparison here. Think about how babies learn their first language. I mean, they just listen, right, for months, every single day, before they even try to say much.
Right, no grammar books involved.
No grammar books, nothing. Their brains just soak it up, learning the patterns purely by absorbing the sounds.
Okay, so it's like fundamental brain training. So the text says, do the same as an adult learner. Listen to English.
Yeah.
Every day.
And it gives loads of suggestions. Podcasts, songs, cartoons are great, short stories, YouTube videos, even the news. But here's the really important bit it stresses.
What's that?
You do not have to understand every single word you hear.
Oh, that takes the pressure off immediately.
Exactly. Just enjoy the sound. Let the rhythm, the words just kind of wash over you. The text explains your brain will actually start remembering things without you even realizing it. And this steady diet of listening, it slowly but surely improves your speaking down the line.
It's like building this deep, passive understanding first.
Precisely. Which then supports the active part.
Which, yeah, brings us right to that active part. The second key step the source talks about is speaking every day.
And this is where the fear often kicks in, like we said. But the material, it's really insistent here. Daily speaking practice is it's essential. Even if you feel shy, even if you make mistakes, even if you think you have no one to talk to at first.
Right, and it gives simple ways around that, like talk to yourself. Stand in front of a mirror, maybe.
Yeah, and it gives really simple starting sentences, too. Things like, I am happy, or this is my room, today is a good day. Just basic stuff.
Okay, and using these simple sentences every day. The text says it's like exercise for your mouth.
Pretty much. Your tongue, your lips, they get used to making the English sounds. They start to move more easily, which naturally helps you speak a bit faster and, well, better over time.
Like building muscle memory.
Exactly like exercise. The more you do it, the stronger you get.
Yeah.
So the advice is crystal clear. Start by yourself if you need to. Just talk out loud. Every single day.
Okay. Now, even if you start talking, there's still that huge hurdle we mentioned right at the start. that fear of making mistakes. And that brings us neatly to the third step in this material. Don't be afraid. Ugh, mistakes.
Yeah, this is a big one. So many learners just freeze up here because they're terrified of saying something wrong.
But this text, it completely reframes that. It says, point blank, mistakes aren't bad. Actually, they're good. They're chances to learn.
Every mistake teaches you something new.
Right. And it also reassures you by pointing out something obvious when you think about it. Nobody speaks perfect English, not even native speakers.
True. We forget words. We stumble over pronunciation. We say the wrong thing sometimes. It happens to everyone.
So the advice is pretty straightforward. Don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake. Just, smile, maybe correct yourself if you notice it, and just try again.
Speak bravely. Speak with confidence. That's the message. Your mistakes are literally your teachers.
Okay, changing that whole internal dialogue about mistakes sounds absolutely crucial.
Fundamental, yeah.
All right, moving on. We've got listening daily, speaking daily, embracing mistakes. What does the source say you should actually focus on speaking, especially at the beginning? That leads to step 4. Learn small sentences first.
Yeah, the material points out a really common trap here. Lots of learners try to jump straight into mastering complex grammar rules or memorizing these huge lists of difficult vocabulary
Oh yeah, I can see that.
and trying to build really complicated sentences right away. And the text says, look, that usually just leads to feeling tired, confused, and often just giving up because it feels way too hard.
Okay, so what's the alternative it suggests?
Much more practical. Start with small, genuinely useful sentences, things you can actually use in day-to-day life.
Like what?
Well, it gives examples like, what is your name? Where are you from? Can you help me? Or even just, I am learning English.
Okay, those seem basic, but I guess they're foundational.
Exactly. The text highlights their power because you use them all the time in real conversations. So the advice is, use these simple, useful sentences every single day. Repeat them until they feel totally easy, completely natural.
And then worry about longer sentences.
Only then, build that strong, usable foundation first. It's about practical communication before theoretical complexity, especially at the start.
Makes sense. Okay, step 5. This is one the material says gets forgotten a lot, but it's apparently super effective. It's a technique called shadowing, or just copy and repeat.
Yeah, shadowing. Basically, it involves listening to someone speaking English, like a native speaker, and then immediately repeating what they just said, trying to copy everything.
Ah, so it's not just passive listening, you're actively mimicking them.
Right. Copying the words, yeah, but also their voice, their tone, the speed, the rhythm. All of it.
No writing involved.
Nope, no writing needed. Just listen and speak aloud right after them. The text gives a simple example. You watch a video, you hear someone say, I like to read books. You pause the video, and you immediately say, I like to read books.
And you just do that over and over.
Repeat it daily, yeah. And the payoff, according to the source, this practice actually trains your mouth physically. It helps it move in the ways native speakers' mouths move. And that really boosts your fluency and how natural you sound.
Interesting. So it's physical training alongside the mental stuff?
Exactly.
All right, step 6. This one is described as very powerful. It's about shifting your internal language, basically thinking in English.
Right. The common thing for learners, naturally, is to think first in their own language, and then they mentally translate those thoughts into English words before they speak.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. And slow.
It is slow. The text explains it takes a lot of time and mental energy, and it makes speaking feel really clunky and difficult.
So the shift is just try to think directly in English, even for small things.
Exactly. Start small. So instead of thinking the word for water in your language when you're thirsty, the text suggests just thinking the English phrase, I need water.
Okay.
Or you see a cute animal, instead of thinking about it in your language, just think in English, this dog is cute, or that cat is sleeping. Simple thoughts.
These seem like tiny little changes, but the material argues they have a big impact.
A huge impact, it says. These small English thoughts, done consistently, gradually start to rewire your brain. Over time, English can actually start to become your default thinking language for more and more things.
Yeah.
Which bypasses that slow translation step completely. And that makes speaking much faster and just way easier.
Like changing your brain's operating system for language.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Okay, and then finally, step 7. When you can, put it all together. Practice speaking with other people.
Yeah, the text suggests, if possible, find a friend who's also learning English. Maybe commit to speaking together for, say, 15 minutes a day.
And just talk about anything.
Yeah, simple stuff. Your day, what you ate, hobbies, dreams, whatever. The key, it says, is keep it light, laugh about mistakes, enjoy the actual process of trying to communicate.
But what if you can't find a partner easily? Does it offer alternatives?
It does, yeah. Smart ones, too. Use a voice recording app on your phone. Record yourself speaking English, then listen back. You'll hear things you want to improve, then try again.
Okay, self-correction.
Exactly. Or it suggests using language exchange apps. There are tons out there. Or joining online English-speaking groups.
Right.
The source reminds you, look, there are literally millions of people all over the world just like you, wanting to practice. You just have to take that first step to find them and connect.
That's encouraging. Now, beyond these 7 main steps, this text also throws in some extra helpful tips, and they seem heavily focused on mindset again.
Yeah, very much so. It really emphasizes staying positive. Like, stop saying things like, my English is bad. Actively choose to reframe it, I am learning. I am getting better.
Instead of, I can't speak.
Say, I am practicing every day. It's about that internal narrative. Believe in yourself. That's a big one in the text.
It also mentions speaking slowly and clearly, especially at first, not rushing.
Right. And it reinforces that point about starting small. Don't get bogged down worrying about complicated grammar rules right at the beginning. Focus on using simple English effectively first.
Get the basics solid.
Exactly. And crucially, make English just a normal part of your daily life.
Sure.
Speak it while you're walking, maybe when you're cooking, even just silently in your thoughts. Slowly, consistently, it starts to feel natural.
I like how the material wraps all this advice up with a kind of long-term view. Using that analogy, learning a language is like planting a tree.
It's a lovely analogy, isn't it? You plant a tiny seed, you water it every single day, and for ages, you might look and see nothing happening above ground.
Yeah.
Then slowly, eventually, a little green shoot pops up.
Yeah.
But it takes many, many days, weeks, months of that consistent care before it grows into a strong tree.
So learning English needs that same kind of patience, consistent care, daily practice. You might not see massive changes overnight,
Probably won't.
but the promise in this text is definitely there. One day, you will speak fluently without that awful fear. One day, you'll look back and think, wow, okay, I actually did it.
It's a process. So maybe we should quickly recap those 7 key steps we pulled from the source material.
Good idea. Okay, number 1, listen every single day.
2, speak every day, even if it's just talking to yourself initially.
3, don't fear mistakes. See them as your teachers. Embrace them.
4, learn and actually use small, useful sentences first. Build from there.
5, copy and repeat after native speakers. That's shadowing technique.
6, try, consciously at first, to think directly in English. Start small.
And number 7, practice speaking with other people whenever you can, or use recording tools to practice by yourself.
And layered over all that, remember those crucial mindset points? Stay positive, really believe you can do it, and speak bravely. Don't let fear win.
Yeah. The final message from this text we looked at is just a really powerful shot of encouragement, isn't it? It basically says, you can do it. Yes, you can. Don't stop. Please don't give up. Just speak. 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 Fluency is coming to you.
So I think what we've really drawn out from this source today is pretty clear. Getting fluent isn't about chasing some impossible ideal of perfection, with fancy words and complex structures.
Right.
It's about comfortable, easy communication. And that's built through consistent daily practice and, maybe just as importantly, a real shift in how you think about the process and about yourself.
You've got a clear map now based on this material. The steps are there. You absolutely have the power to do this. This deep dive has hopefully given you those key steps, the ones outlined in the source, for your own English journey. And just remember, it is a journey, right? A process of ongoing growth.
Absolutely. And maybe, thinking back to the source's analogy, the one about learning English being like planting that tree and watering it daily.
Yeah.
What's maybe one small, consistent act of watering, one small practice that you listening could commit to doing starting today, right now,
Yeah.
to help your own English language tree grow just that little bit stronger.